that you can achieve using the conditions. How you were able to achieve using the conditions? We kept some conditions, and if the condition is true, then we are calling a certain, see here, the type is checkbox, show details on change handle. Okay, and in this handle, what I am doing, I am giving a variable value false initially. If you make it to true, then it has to change on change. So in this way, we are able to hide and display some portion of the HTML template. If I want to display list of items, that also I did using the for each loop. Using the for each loop, I was able to display list of items. Okay. The next thing that we have done is there are two different templates. There are two different templates. Okay. Based on the condition, I want to display a template and I don't want to display another template. If the condition is changed, then I want to display a different template. So what is the difference between this render HTML conditionally and render multiple templates? In render HTML conditionally, what I am doing is within the same HTML template, a small piece or small portion of the code I am hiding and I am showing. But here there are completely two different templates. They are completely two different templates. One template you want to show in a certain condition, another template you want to show in a certain condition. Like that also we can do. So these are all the things that we can do within the HTML that we have seen. Now, what are the things that we can do in CSS that we are going to see today? First thing is, in CSS, why we use CSS? We use CSS to give a good look and feel, color, design, shape, size, all these things we will achieve through CSS. The first thing is style with Lightning Design System. Lightning Design System is in shortcut we call it as SLDS. Lightning Design System, SLDS, is a CSS framework that provides a look and feel that's consistent with the Lightning experience. So you need to understand this single point. It means, for example, if I go to login.salesforce.com, okay, okay. For example, if I go to sales app, for example, see here, I am on home tab. Okay. For example, if I go to another tab, okay, if I go to another tab, see whichever tab I am going on, it is consistently giving me a certain design and look and feel. It is not in an odd fashion. It is evenly distributed. It is evenly maintained. The similar kind of thing is maintained evenly. See here, the background color, and on top of this you have this block, right? So this is evenly maintained. It is not like randomly something we are showing. Okay, so for all this, how this is happening? Because they are writing CSS once and they are reusing that same CSS again and again. So that's why they are getting the same look and feel. Similarly, if you want to do such kind of thing, yes, that we can achieve. So for that, what our Salesforce is providing? Salesforce is providing Salesforce Lightning Design System. This is a CSS framework. It means it contains predefined certain predefined CSS components which you can use and reuse any number of times, so that what happens, see, simple thing, if I want to create a small, okay, if for example, if I want to create a small box, for example, like this, okay. So now from the left side, how much space I have given, from the right side, how much space I have given, from the top, how much space I have given, from the bottom, how much space I have given. So I am having a certain calculation for this. So that's why it is visible like this. For example, if you are using a different CSS in a different page, there, for example, if you are showing like this, now it is giving a different look and feel, right? So to avoid that, what we are doing, once we are writing the CSS, and the same CSS we are reusing it. Once only we are writing and the same thing we are reusing, then what happens, even if you go into different pages also, you will get the same look and feel. So how we are achieving that? For that, Salesforce is providing some ready-made Lightning Design System. Lightning Design System, Salesforce Lightning Design System, SLDS, is a CSS framework that provides a look and feel that's consistent with the Lightning experience. Use SLDS styles to give your custom Lightning web components a UI that is consistent with Salesforce, without having a reverse engineer our styles. See, it means already you are seeing this kind of style. So it means what? Background, they are using one background image. On top of that, they are putting this one. Left side, they are using some margin. Right on the top, they are using some margin. Right side, they are using some margin. Okay. So by seeing this, to replicate this, we no need to write this code, like left side give this much margin, on the top this much margin, right side this much margin. You no need to do all those reverse engineering. Reverse engineering means what? You already have the output. By seeing the output, you are trying to figure out from where this came, how I can recreate this kind of thing. You no need to worry to bring a such a consistent output. You no need to do all those things. We have a ready-made components, you can just use them, so that you can get the similar kind of output, which will give you a consistent UI. Like in one tab you are clicking and you are getting something, and in the another tab you are getting a completely different thing, that will not give a good impression to your customer. So we want to follow a certain structure in all our pages, so that we can achieve using SLDS. Okay. So SLDS is a CSS framework that provides a look and feel that's consistent with the Lightning experience. Use SLDS styles to give your custom Lightning web components a UI that is consistent with the Salesforce, without having to reverse engineer our styles. And best of all, it just works with Lightning components running in Lightning experience and in Salesforce mobile application also. Okay. So all this space, all these styles and all, when Salesforce designed, they kept everything in mind. If we open in mobile, how it should display. If you open in if you open in laptop, how it should display. If you open in tab, how it should display. So you no need to worry about all those things. It can adjust accordingly. Just use the ready-made components provided by Salesforce. So that's the point. So now what you will do is put the heading CSS. Okay. Under that, write down this one. This entire paragraph you write down. Done, everyone? This is nothing but component reference. Okay, so you can go to the components. So okay, so these are all the components examples you can see. Okay, lightning design system. In this, we have component blueprints, ready to use HTML and CSS UI elements provide the foundation for Salesforce experience development. And we have tokens, design guidelines, tools. Okay, so we are going to use all these things to build an application which you can use seamlessly, and there should not be a feeling like, see, for example, I'll show you something. See, this component, this component, this component, this component. All these are Salesforce provided components. See, the look and feel is common, similar. But here we created a component and that is not matching with this one, right? If you show this kind of thing, it is like this is the original one and you have did some patchwork to this one. It should not look like that. Okay. If you want to show this color everywhere. So whether it is a standard component or whether it is a custom component developed by you, it should give you a similar experience, similar look and feel. Then only customer will think that, okay, this application is authentic and can believe and can use this comfortably. If you give this kind of output, customer will not get confidence to use this application in this today's era of internet, wherein there can be so many uh, you know phishing attacks. you know it means, like, for example, if you are using ICICI Bank, the bank will have a certain website. If somebody creates a similar website and if they ask you to provide username and password, if you provide username and password, it may go into wrong hands, right? So they may do some illegal activities. So that's why every company will think of its brand image while providing some website. So we should give a uniform feel, uniform look and feel, uniform approach while creating the component. So if you do this kind of thing, it looks like a patchwork and they think that, okay, this may not be the correct website. So always every company asks us to build something which is consistent, uniform and meaningful, and also it should look good. Okay, so using Lightning design system, we are going to achieve all those things. Okay. So use base Lightning components. Base components in the Lightning namespace use Lightning design system styling. Many base components are built from SLDS component blueprints. A blueprint is a framework and not, just accessible HTML accessible. It contains accessible HTML and CSS. A few examples include, so these are the blueprints which you can use. Okay, so template, And here I am just using lightning button. Okay, so lightning button means what? Actually, I want to give some HTML and some CSS, but here I am directly using lightning button, label equal to something, title equal to something, on click handle something. Here lightning button, inside that I am giving some variant, brand, label, cancel, title, all these things. By simply giving this one, what is happening is you no need to go into the details of what should be the size of the button, what should be the color of the button, what should happen when you click on the button. So those kind of minute details you no need to worry, because if you can do, you can create a button. Without this also you can create a button, but what happens, that button edge should be round edge, the button color should be something, the background color of the button should be something, the text on the button should be something, the letters that we are displaying on top of the button should come in this font. So you need to provide each and every minute detail. Otherwise what happens, at one place it will come in a one way, in another place it will come in a different way. If you are using buttons, one button is very big, red color, another button is very small, blue color, then it will not give you a consistent experience to use that application. Okay, so that's why what Salesforce is doing, it is giving you a blueprint which you can use directly, and on top of that, whatever changes, whatever corrections or whatever variations you want to make, you can make. Okay, so let's see in our one of our example what we have done. I'll show you. Let's go to our sample. Okay, see here in this one, lightning card we are using, right? Lightning card we are using. Okay, render multiple demo. Okay, let me open the output for this one. Render multiple demo. See here, what is happening is, in this render multiple demo component, what I have done, I just used lightning card. Instead that, I just used lightning button. And in this button, I have given some variant equal to destructive, variant equal to success. Just by providing that, what happened? See, just by providing that, what happened? I got this outline. See, this one. This is the lightning card, and card is having this round edges. Okay, and I am having the button. So I am not defining the size of the button. I am not defining what should be the color of the letters inside the button. I am not defining the color of the button. And see, the buttons are so interactive. Just if you put your cursor on that, the color of the button is changing and the letters color is also changing. See, so many things are happening. So have you written code in detail for all those things? No. Simply you are just saying that lightning button, that's it. So it is taking care of all those things. It is taking care of all those things. And when you click what action you want to perform, that you are deciding. But this button should have round edges. The button size should be only this much. We are not defining all those things. We are getting all those things because you are using the elements of the SLDS. Okay, so that's why here SLDS, text reading medium, SLDS. So what are all these things? All these things are ready-made SLDS classes. We are just using them. We are not actually writing the code CSS for this one. This CSS is already present. So we are just utilizing it. Okay. Fine. So now let's move on to the different one. Okay. So here we have seen all those things, right? Use base lightning component design variations and utility classes. To change the styling of a base lightning component, first check the component reference to see whether the component has design variations. See, this is a button. Both are both of these two things are buttons. But here I have given the variant as destructive. Here I have given the variant as success. Just by changing the variant, one value there, all its color, everything got changed. Okay. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to check whether for our requirement, whether there is any existing CSS which is satisfying our requirement, and for that base component if there are variations. So if variations are there, we need to decide which variation is exactly suitable for our specific situation. To change the spacing of a component such as the alignment pattern, margin, or even its typography, use lightning design system utility classes. So what is lightning design system utility classes? I will show you. So here lightning design system utility classes, these are. So class SLDS align absolute center. So if you use this, what happens? Okay, let me copy this. Okay, for this button. Okay, let me give this one. Okay, Control S. Okay, for first button I gave this, second button I gave a different one. Okay, now Control Shift P, deploy this source to arc. Deploy to source arc ran successfully. Now let's go to this one, refresh. See, I have given what I have given, SLDS align absolute center. By giving that, what is happening here? See, it came to absolute center. Yes or no? By preserving the other features, I only want to change the alignment. If I do this, so this, if I want to use this one here also, now see what happens. Control S, Control Shift T, deploy the source to arc, deployed. Now let me refresh this. See, absolute center. I am getting like this. Okay. If I don't want center, if I want to show them on the right side, then Okay, if I just make it right, right, make it right large. Control S, Control Shift P, apply this to screenshot, deployed, ran successfully. Let me refresh this. Okay, it is coming like this. See the difference. Initially, okay, let me make it Control Z. Okay, Control S. Okay, Control Shift P, deploy this to source app. See, now if I refresh the space between these two, you observe. See, the space got changed, alignment got changed. Okay, so all these things, how we are able to achieve? Using so many of these things, alignments, borders. Okay, so for this, I want to have a border. Okay, I want to show it in a box. Then I can show that in a box. Floats, grid, so many things are there. Layout, name, position, padding, print, scrollable, sizing, text, themes, truncation, vertical list, visibility. If you change the visibility, see, visibility, SLDS, assistive text. Assistive text is for blind people. Okay, like you can have different hidden, visible, different things you can have. See, less than 320 pixel show, rather than this hide. What, when you want to show what, so everything you can change using this one. Okay, so you no need to remember all these things. As per the requirement, you can make the change. Okay, so you just need to understand that we can do all these things. So there are some base components, you can use them ready made. And if you want to make some changes, if you don't want to use the base component as it is, on top of the base component you can use lightning design system utility classes. These two words, if you tell, that's it. How I am building my lightning web components? I am building my lightning web components using the base lightning component design variations and utility classes. If you just tell this statement, that's enough. Just put note and write down this heading, that's enough. Done with this, everyone? As soon as you get a requirement, first you need to think whether there is a base component you which I can use ready made for my particular requirement. If it is working fine, okay. Otherwise, what you need to think? You need to think, is there any other variation in my base component which I can use. If that is also not working, then what we will do? Okay, is there any ready-made utility class which is already written by Salesforce? So I can use that. Okay. So in that way, you need to think. If that is also not present, then we will use styling hooks. Okay. First you write down this one. Then I will tell you the remainder. First you write down. Everybody completed noting down this one? Okay. Now, next point you write down. Write down the next point. If design variations and utility classes don't meet your requirements, consider styling hooks. Consider styling hooks. So, first of all, what we are trying to do? First of all, we are trying to use the ready-made Salesforce provided components. If that is not sufficient, we are using a different variation in that. If that is also not sufficient, we are using the utility classes provided by Salesforce. If that is also not sufficient, then we are going for styling hooks. Then we are going for styling hooks. Okay, styling hooks. Write down this sentence. After writing that sentence, I'll tell you what. Write down the sentence which I selected. Okay, fine. So now let's see this one. Using Lightning Design System. Style components using Lightning Design System styling hooks. Salesforce Lightning Design System styling hooks make it easy to customize component styling and express your brand. Styling hooks provide CSS custom properties that corresponds to SLDS component blueprints and design variations. To customize an SLDS style, declare a corresponding custom property in a components style sheet. You can use the custom properties to style base components and custom components. First of all, did you get any question like what is CSS basically? Just giving some color, giving space, giving border. That is very basic thing. Why we need so many things for CSS? Because it is very easy to just give color, style, all these things. But the problem is at one place you are giving it and in another place you want to follow the same thing. So that's where the problem comes. So you should think in a way that it can be used universally. So that's why what Salesforce is saying that if you give your own left side space, right side space, top, bottom, all these things, at one place it may visible in a different way, at another place it may visible in a different way. So that is why all those code I have written, you use these ready-made things. That's what Salesforce is saying. Of course, we will see more deep into this styling hooks in the next topic. We can also apply custom CSS classes. If you want to If styling hooks also doesn't work, in that case, try design tokens with global access. Write down this point. So here we have what we have written. First of all, what we will try? First of all, we will try the Lightning SLDS provided base component. First, we will try that one. We have a requirement given by our client. To satisfy that, first thing what we will try, the base components provided by SLDS. If the base component provided by SLDS is satisfying your requirement, very good. If not, within the same base component itself, multiple variations are there. Okay. Fine. So, first of all, what we need to understand is why we need to do all these things. Okay. The simple thing is we can write CSS in whichever way you want to write. Like you can give left side space, right side space, top, bottom, border, padding, whatever you want to write, you can write whichever color, font, style, design, everything, whatever you want, you can do that. But why we are following the Salesforce provided SLDS, the only reason is consistency. If you do it on your own, at every place it may look differently. But to bring a uniform look and feel, what we are doing every time when a customer gives you a requirement, the first thing that you need to think is whether it is possible for me to use the ready-made Salesforce provided SLDS provided base component. If the base component is there, which is matching your requirement, just go and use it. If the base component is not there, then you use a different variation in that base component which satisfies your requirement. If that is also not possible, then what you need to do? Then you need to use the utility classes provided by the Salesforce SLDS. If that utility classes are also not sufficient to satisfy your requirement, then try the style hooks. If style hooks are also not satisfying, then use design tokens with global access. Okay, so this point you have already written, right? If design variations and utility classes doesn't meet your requirement, then consider styling hooks. Okay, next point. If styling hooks don't work for your use case, try design tokens with global access. Clear till this point, guys? What should be the first thing that we need to try? First, we need to try with the base component. Second thing, base component different variation. If base component different variation is not working, what this is styling hooks. Use styling hooks. If styling hooks is also not working, then try using the design tokens. If design tokens are also not working, then use custom CSS. Custom CSS means write whatever code you want to write. Using directly CSS, you can build whatever you want to build. Okay, after this line, after you noted down this line, write down this one. So here what it is saying is, if the SLDS provided design is not satisfying your requirement, then don't change the CSS of the base component, because if you do that, it will impact at all the places. Instead, create your own CSS and use it wherever you want. by simply giving that specific class name. Okay. What he is saying is, here, if you don't want to use this, create your own CSS and create a class there, and you call that class instead of disturbing this one. Okay. That is the meaning of this point. Right on. If the global design tokens doesn't work, create a custom CSS class instead of overriding an SLDS class. Create a class instead of targeting a class name you don't own. It means, since that class name can change, for example, don't target as it's part of the base component internal markup. Instead, create a custom class and pass it to your class attribute. If you don't write all these things also, that's fine. Just write this line. If this is also not working, use your custom CSS class instead of overriding an SLDS class. That's it. Okay, so here, okay, please confirm everybody noted this line which I highlighted, which I selected. Please note down that everybody noted down that one. Once noted down, please confirm. Then I will tell you what to do next. Okay, so the point here is, you can write like this also. You can write like this also. Here, what I am doing, I am creating my own CSS class name, and inside that I am writing my own code. Do this, but don't do this. Here, what I am doing, for the existing SLDS CSS, I am giving a new definition. Don't do this. If the features provided by SLDS are not satisfying your requirement, create your own CSS, but don't disturb the existing CSS provided by the SLDS. So that is what it is telling. Okay. Apply your styling incrementally. It means use like this: padding, scoped spacing, but instead scoped notification padding. So what happens? It is not a good practice to use existing Salesforce provided SLDS with some changes adding to it. Instead of that, if you use this one, what happens? You use the standard feature provided by SLDS. On top of that, you apply your changes. Okay. Good practice, good CSS habits, and don't overload a selector. Existing selector, you don't overload. Okay. Overload means what? Overriding, overloading. You know, right? So existing one, you don't make any change. You create your own and then use the standard one. On top of that, you build your own. Okay. Create custom components from base components. So you know that already Salesforce is providing some base components. And if I want to create some custom components by using the base components, how can I do that? To build a Lightning Web component, compose it by combining smaller Lightning base components into a more complex custom component. Try to construct your design from components like buttons and media objects. Use utilities such as grid and spacing classes for layout. When you add new functionality to the component, such Lightning design system for patterns that work and apply the classes to the template. So basically what we are doing, we are building a Lightning Web component which will have a certain style, shape, design, and all, and that can act as a individual you individual block, and a admin can just drag and drop your lightning web components onto his page and use them as per his requirement. So now how to build a lightning component? While you are building a component, also randomly don't write whatever you want. You always try to use the default base components provided by Salesforce. Using those small base components, you build your component. Then what happens, you can maintain the consistency among all the components that you have created within your application. Is it clear? Okay, write down this. To build a lightning web component, compose it by combining smaller lightning based components into a more complex custom component. Try to construct your design from components like buttons and media objects. Use utilities such as grid and spacing classes for layout. When you add new functionality to the component, search lightning design system for patterns that work and apply the classes to the template. Note down this. Okay, done.
మేము కౌ మిల్క్, బఫెలో మిల్క్ ఫార్మర్స్ నుంచి విడిగా తీసుకుంటాం.
Okay. So creating custom components from Lightning design system blueprints and all we are going to see. Okay. Now use base Lightning component design variations. Okay, so how to use the base Lightning component design variations? So this one we have already done similar kind of thing. Many base Lightning components have several design variations. Each design variation gives a component a different look. Like see this lightning button. Okay, if you are trying to use lightning button and if you are using the variant brand, it will show in a different way. If you are using the variant uh, you know uh, destructive variant success. Okay, so based on that you will see, I will show you that. Wait a second. Okay, under lightning you have lightning button. Okay, so see this one, this is the base one. Okay, this is the neutral. Okay, variation, this is the brand variation, this is the brand outline variation, this is the destructive, this is destructive text, this is success. So within the same button you have different variations, and this is basic button. Again in disable buttons you have these many different variations. You can show a disable button like this, you can show a disable button like this, you can show a disable button, you can show a disable button like this. So we have different variations within the disable buttons. And buttons with icons, see button with icon, we have different variations. delete and delete symbol right side, delete and delete symbol left side, edit left symbol left, edit the pencil symbol left side, right side. Okay. In download, these are the two variations. Okay. Like this. Inverse variant. See, this is the inverse variant. Okay. Like this, we have different variants. Buttons with axis key, with access key X, with access key Y, like this. Okay. So these within button, we have so many things, right? Like that. In avatar, for example, avatar, this is the basic avatar. Avatar sizes. So we can have different sizes of avatars. Avatar variants. This is one variant and this is another variant. Avatar initials. Okay, like this. Avatar icons. You can have like this. Okay, like this. Okay, button menu, simple button menu, it will look like this. Okay, and this one, see, button menu with some disabled. Okay, some enabled, some disabled. Here all are enabled. See this button menu using icons and menu. So button menu you want to show, but on the top you want to show this icon. Button menu you want to show, but on the top you want to show a different icon. Here a different icon, here a different icon. Okay. Button menu with a small, medium, default, large. Okay. See, these are the different things. Alignment. See here, left alignment, right alignment, center alignment, auto alignment. Okay, so see this one, see this one. Make it clear. Okay, left alignment, right alignment. So left alignment means this icon is in the left side and the menu is popping up to the right. Menu is popping up to the right. If I click here, menu is popping up to the left. If I click here, menu is popping up at the center. And this one auto align based on the situation, because this is on the right side, so it is coming left side. If you keep it here, it will come on the right side. Auto will adjust according to the situation. Okay, so this is left alignment, this is right alignment, this is center alignment. You understood? For each of these things, already the existing code is there. You just copy paste, use this as it is. Okay. Card. So in lightning card, see here, this is the basic card that we are using. Narrow card means, see this one, this entire card here, we are getting this custom card, custom title, body, tag 1, tag 2, tag 3, like this we can use. Okay. Card. Container. See this uh, data table. See, you want to display in the form of a table. Then you will use the basic table with the selectable rows. Okay. Data table in action. Like this, you want to include table with static actions, table with dynamic actions. All these things we can include. Flow, file upload, file card. So many things are there. Alert. I want to see open alert. So I want to show this kind of alert. Okay. Badge. So this is a badge with the icon. See this icon along with that badge. Okay. Button groups. So I want to put these three buttons in a group. Disable button group. Okay. Inverse button group. Button group with down arrow menu. Button group with the disabled drop down. Okay. Button icon. See, these are the different button icons. Button icon sizes. Inverse variants. Okay. So many things we can use. Button selection. click to daily, like this. We can give confirm. When confirm, it is coming something like this. Conversation toolkit. Real list box. See here. Out of like multi-select pick list. Out of them, you want to select some. Okay. So you can do dynamic icon, EQ icon. See this kind of dynamic score icon, strength icon. See it is loading that kind of trend icon. See this icon, waffle icon. This icon. You want wherever you want. EMP file card, formatted address. So formatted address with latitude, formatted date. Okay. Time format, date and time formatting, help text. So these are the different ways which you can use. So all of you go through each of these things. Just you need to use it. You no need to create it. Just use it, which is already present, which is already provided by Salesforce. Okay. I'll give you this URL. Just try once, you'll get some good understanding. Fine. We'll meet in the next class and we'll discuss more concepts. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Record.